don't have a clue how this is really going to go down, but we'll find out very shortly because we're going to head into our next matchup, and we have Scherzi and Yakzn on the mics. Lads, take it away.
Can't wait to jump into this one. An opportunity for both these teams and to hit the championship Sunday. For Piggy, like I say, the stark contrast to last event, finishing top 16. What a story it would be for him to make it all the way to that championship Sunday. Pose a question to some of those bigger teams, but none are bigger at the moment than Optic Gaming.
Yeah, and whilst I say, you know, they had an opportunity to get top 3 and it would have been such a memorable moment, arguably the biggest moment of their careers, you could also argue if they can topple Optic Gaming, that would also be up there of that moment that you've had, even if they beat Optic and then only finish top 4. I say only, would still be incredible for Envy, but just being able to take down the reigning champs could be everything for Envy. But I do think the Slayer is going to play a big part in this. And of course, Aquarius Bomb as well. Envy have looked pretty good on this map and mode. Optic as well, they're 3-1 for the season. So I think this is going to be an outright brawl to open map 1.
Optic Gaming's revenge tour keeps on rolling. And for Envy, it's about making statements of intent. They've done that up until this point. But is this a task too far? Is this a challenge too great? We're about to find out. Shields up, weapons up. Yakz's got camouflage.
Camouflage to kick things off and maybe just try and creep behind enemy lines or maybe get away with the bomb, but it looks like the rest of Optic have been able to stay alive off this starting strategy and just move that bomb away. I like it actually. By taking the bomb off of bottom middle, you basically don't allow Camouflage just to run away and steal it because you've got eyes on it, you've got tabs on it, and it's far easier to just check out.
Renegade sitting in the closet. He's hitting 5 shots onto Yakzn, the camouflage player. That's a dagger to the heart. Any steam you were building up, immediately gets put down. Have a backstab from Renegade here as well. Lqgend and Bound combined to pick up a couple of kills, and they can drive the bomb forward now. We've seen just how good Optic Gaming can be on this map mode combination. They can be cutthroat. Precision down to no shields now. Plasma pistol will connect. Formal. Puts him in the dirt. And Envy's base is under siege here. The bomb is arming. Piggy's just managed to get the kill. Got another body on it though. Renegade's there to get some kills. Try as they might, Lqgend gets the final little piece that was required. Optic Gaming take the lead here. And importantly, 3 dead again for Envy.
Yeah, and Optic are going to be pretty relentless now with looking for these spawners and trying to get another round of slays and then start moving that bomb once again. Bomb has spawned. Renegade gets yet another perfect onto Yakzn. And here comes the boom, here comes the pain. 2 dead for Envy. Optic looking to run a train yet again. They just continuously move together as a unit to Optic Gaming. Must be so intimidating to just turn a corner and suddenly there's 2 or 3 of them staring you down with their bandits.
Do not allow you a second to breathe. They push this bomb in again, precision fighting off the back foot. More kills go their way. 4 dead for Envy again. Absolutely relentless. Bomb's going down. They almost have 2 plants in 2 minutes. That one's locked in. Optic Gaming double their lead.
Well, they said they were working on the new maps modes. Well, this is a new mode. This is a new introduction. We knew Optic were going to be very good at some of the older maps and modes. Now they find themselves with a 2-0 lead right from the start. 4 did go down for Optic, so Envy were able to at least break out and have a chance to attack themselves. And Piggy's going to be in a very important position here, but he does get spotted out. Found actually checks his corners, and that's huge for Optic Gaming.
Envy are starting to find out they're in the shark tank. Optic Gaming looking hungry and ready to feast. Smelling blood in the water. Bombs in the move again. This time being pushed away from Optic Gaming's base. 2 go down. Precision and Descendant in the respawn screen. Piggy's top middle. Forma will pass that information on. Yakz's going to look to push the closet along with Piggy. It's a bit of a brawl in the closet. Piggy loses his teammate Yakzn. Again, the bait and switch. You can see 1 fight from low, 1 fight from high. Envy doing well here though. Maybe something to build upon. Bound's going to look for the backstab. Formal's there as well. And Piggy gets the kill. Winning individual pivs. Big from Piggy.
Bomb has to move across the map though, and it is going to start to be transitioned from point A to B, but taken down on the way. And Piggy again is going to be the forefront of this attack, but oh, he's done well to get a double. This time, even if they check their corners, they're not able to take Piggy out.
Bomb in hand then. Just stalled a little bit of hesitancy. Will that come back to bite them? Renegade jumps in through the window. He gets swatted away. Bomb is being armed, bouncing a fight from the front base. Renegade gets the kill. Bomb 3/4 of the way armed. Camouflage has popped up at probably the worst possible time because now Envy have to split their resources. All that good work, no value.
Yeah, sadly goes for the camouflage, and all the meanwhile the bomb gets thrown out. So for all that pressure, for all the good work, it amounts to nothing, and now Optic Gaming get a chance to hold on to the bomb here. Start to push up on Envy's base. They're trying to surround them. You can see they're going for a little bit of a split, but with Formal going down, they maybe need to reconsider how they approach this one. Bound does find one of his own. Lqgend wins this fight, they can probably move the bomb in.
Lqgend does win the fight. Doesn't miss a shot. Descendant takes 3 ticks of damage as well. Member of Optic jumps in the window. It's going to be Bound this time. Formal gets a kill off the respawn. Now Bound's got control of the base. Piggy's bottom middle, trying to make it a difficult fight. Going to be a thorn in the side of Bound here, but he's quite happy just to stay alive here, block the spawns, and wait for his teammates to move up around him.
Yeah, Piggy's done really well being a nuisance, whether it's being bottom middle, whether it's getting into the opposition base. Now Precision's the last remaining player, temporarily forward, dead there for Envy, so off spawn they need to just be calling out where the spawners are going to be moving. Yakzn gets taken down instantly. Now Envy are going to be pinned back here by Optic Gaming, and they're going to have to fight out of their own base. You can see they just go into defense mode here, just knowing they have to protect and they can't allow one more plant, otherwise this game is done.
Defense is looking strong right now for Envy. Shield's not looking too healthy though. Lqgend's still just sliding around. They're almost taunting them. They can't clear him out. They can't step forward because the guns sitting top middle will cut them down. Yakzn goes down. Lqgend does too. And a thruster pack scooped up by Bound. Precision recharges at his own peril. Bound puts him in the dirt.
One thing you'll notice about Bound is just how confident he is to jump out even if he's on no shields. He knows that if you can send bullets back the other way, sometimes you can knock him out of scope and you're not going to be killed. But also he knows his damage is more important than just putting his head down and sometimes gaining shields back, especially when people are dying around you. We talk about how important it is to survive in Halo Infinite, but sometimes it's recognizing when surviving might be costing your team, whether a bomb plant or even just a couple of deaths. Instead, supporting them can be better.
Staying alive can be great, can be good for your team sometimes, but you also leave your teammates in a 4v3, almost to the point where you may as well be dead. Sometimes your gun is better off. Just keep on firing, keep applying pressure. Keep relieving pressure on your own team. Bomb down the courtyard now for Optic Gaming. Envy's push doesn't seem strong enough right now. Descendant's got the camouflage, he's now revealed himself. Now 2 members of Optic Gaming converge to try and hunt him down. Renegade throws on a grenade. Descendant's camo will just dissipate now. Envy need to capitalize on this pressure being applied. 2 go down. They've got to try and get a plant here now. Bound manages to keep himself alive. Piggy and Precision now will try and close the distance over towards the closet. But the fight's already gone down. They're too late to the party.
At least Piggy's the last remaining player. He's done pretty well up to this point when he is last remaining, but Lqgend shuts him down immediately to find his 16th kill.
Bomb reset.
I will say, even though it was a very hot start by Optic Gaming, Envy have done pretty well to hold them off, but that's all it has really been, is holding them off. Only one real planting opportunity, and Optic were able to stop them. So Envy needs to kind of up the ante a little bit here. They want to be able to win this game, they have to change something. Find a little bit more aggression, perhaps.
Sometimes it might just be playing a little bit quicker, playing with a bit more risk. Down by 2 here. 1 plant is not going to be good enough, and you've already played over 8 minutes. Gotta get a boogie on now. Bomb down bottom middle, camo scooped up by Bound. All the goodies going back towards the green wall.
No kills at the moment for Bound, but he will eventually find it because he's just patient. But I think that Envy were desperate to find him, and they do shut him down in the end. But for all this time they're taking to find X player, Y player, clock is just ticking away, and Envy need to be thinking about how they're actually going to move that bomb across. Maybe it's going to start with penetrating the base first. A siege is happening.
Bound making himself such a difficult kill here, doing so much damage. Bound survives somehow, some way. Descendant's last man standing for his team.
Shouldn't have been able to survive, should he? Let's be honest. And now Descendant also goes down, and Optic Gaming still holding control of the map, and they can start moving the bomb if they would like to. Will Optic just make this a nice 3-0 rather than thinking about the clock helping them out instead?
One way or another, the clock will be helping them out. As it applies a lot more pressure, and Envy need to be a little bit more urgent here. Opens the door for more mistakes to be made. Piggy will get a kill over towards the fridge. Precision's going to try and push in towards the flag. At least this time the base. 3 members of Envy push in. Renegade, he's good. He's not that good.
It's one way to shut down Renegade. Sometimes is to send everything at him. Lqgend gets another kill onto Piggy. 3 are dead again for Envy. But that bomb is not in a position to plant right now. It's going to be a temporary 4 dead. I think even if Optic aren't going to get that 3rd plant, it's looking more likely that they're going to win this first map purely off of time.
Lqgend makes a meal of that kill, does eventually get it. Descendant was down to no shield, but nobody there to capitalize on it. Renegade with the battle rifle. Beautiful double kill.
Bomb taken.
Formal keeping the bomb alive, making sure it doesn't reset. Renegade's there now too, in support. See the MV push back up the pink steps again. They return back home. But Optic Gaming are more than happy to keep playing this game. We'll keep playing Halo in your base.
And they're leading Envy in kills by somewhere around 20 odd. It's been pretty one-sided on that side of things, and I do think that Renegade now is just going to be toying with them a little bit. Gets the help as well from Lqgend, and again, Renegade was the bait. Lqgend was the one that got the kills in the end. 1 minute and 30 on the clock for Envy, and I just think they've run out of time here.
You know when Renegade's doing that to you, you're like, I'm just going to walk in and kill him now. And then Lqgend's behind them. It's like, oh, I see they were doing a thing. They've been doing a thing all game long. Piggy will try and apply some sense of urgency, pick the bomb up. But he's being backed down, he's being backed away. Yakz's in the closet now. Formal gets a kill again. Envy have put themselves in pretty optimal positions, but haven't been able to capitalize. And Optic Gaming quite happy just to play defense now into the final knock-ins and into that final minute.
Yeah, 50 seconds. I really doubt Envy are going to be able to do much here with it. They're trying, though. They're trying to force their way into this phase. You need to have a bomb alongside you, and the bomb gets reset yet again. So Optic are just going to sit back and wait this one out, and it's probably going to be a formality by this point. Even though Envy have had those moments where they have been able to break into the base, they have been able to get those kills. Often Piggy leading that charge. It was the early pressure and the early plants from Optic Gaming that are going to win them this game.
Envy just left himself a little bit too much to
Bomb
do.
taken.
The opening too strong from Optic Gaming. And they were happy to hold what they have. Envy weren't able to find the response. It's been a little more than a consolation arm now after getting Descendant will start arming with the camouflage. Here comes the push, there goes the grenades. Descendant drops the bomb. Force 2 as his lifeless body hits the floor. And Optic Gaming win the game. They're 1 up.
Yeah, I look pretty comfortable in the end for Optic Gaming. Maybe all that hard work has started to pay off. Some of these new modes. The green wall start to celebrate. Maybe they're thinking about how far can Optic go in this elimination bracket. You think we can get a replication of Arlington? The gauntlet run all the way from elimination bracket round 1 to those grand finals. That certainly will be the expectation, not just for the fans, but for players alike on that side of the main stage. And realistically, if they are to do that, I would expect this to be a 3-0 to Optic Gaming against Envy. They have to show that they can demolish opposition like this, so that then when they do play against a potential Shopify Rebellion, FaZe Clan, whoever they may come up against through that elimination bracket, have to be striking fear into their enemies' eyes, right? 7.5k damage for Lqgend, 7k damage for Bound. And it really was the perfect blend of baiting and switching throughout this game for Optic Gaming. Every single time that Envy thought they maybe had a foot in this game, Optic had a response.
Really was the perfect storm in the early innings. Back-to-back bomb plants within 2 minutes. Absolutely incredible. But bound to have to play his life like that, making himself such a difficult kill. Frustration starts to grow when you can't get those kills. Renegade was doing it in the closet as well. For Envy, it's so frustrating. How do you find an answer for that? It's almost like you're missing pieces to the puzzle. Origin Slayer now on the horizon. New map, new game mode. This is a chance for Envy to bounce back. And they've got to capitalize on that. They have got to take advantage.
Statistically, this is one of the more poor Slayers that Optic have in their arsenal. So there is at least something for Envy. But it's not like Optic are bad at it. You know, like, yes, they might have lost. I think they're 3-4 is their record at the moment throughout this season. Just under that 50% win rate, but when you go up against a Shopify Rebellion who are ruthless on this game, especially when they get that sniper rifle in their hands, it's always tough. But an interesting statistic, when we often look at the strong points, but when you look at the weak links in Slayer so far this tournament, it's not usual that you will see Formal on that list, but at the same time, when you look at the other players in this roster, it doesn't really matter if you're a weak link, because that's what's so good about Optic Gaming, is that someone steps up to the plate time and time again, where it may not be Formal at this event, it probably was at the previous.
Interesting as well to see that Piggy was the weakest link in Slayers for his team, but he actually had a positive KD, which meaning Envy are actually performing pretty well in Slayers. Proof here. Next 3 modes, 4 and 2 in Slayer versus Optic's 4 and 5. Just really telling you the story when it comes to Optic Gaming struggles in the Slayers. CTF and Oddball 3-0 and 3-0 for Envy versus 3-1 and 3-0 for Optic. So there is cause for optimism, even if it's just a glimmer of hope.
And again, I mean, it's Fortress Capture the Flag is game 3, and I think there's always going to be that question mark for that mapping mode. Are Optic going to be that well practiced? Is it something that they are as good at as maybe an Aquarius Capture the Flag? I think we know that's not true, because Aquarius Capture the Flag, one of their best. But anyway, for now, we will focus on Origin Slayer for game 2. You saw the fist bumps as the game is loading. About to get into this one. Obviously, we know Rocket's going to be a big focus point for both of these teams right from the rip, but it is that sniper rifle that can be the difference maker. Because the Rocket's only a couple to work with, but the sniper, you get a full-on clip.
You've seen this map be a playground for players like Frosty. He's always loved Coliseum. Origin's the same. But you've got players on Optic Gaming who were essentially Halo 5 kids. Renegade, Lqgend, Bound. That's where they made the name for themselves. So you would think this map and this game mode should be like their bread and butter.
Should be, but sometimes just hasn't really gone that way. But again, it's about the opposition that they have been facing. With a lot of these statistics for Optic, it's against FaZe, it's against the Shopify Rebellions of the world, the other teams that are right at the tippy top of the HCS, as Renegade is going to go right to the tippy top of Rockets. And uncontested as well, is going to be prioritizing the sniper rifle for Envy.
Will that pay dividends for them? The answer so far seems no. Yakzn and Piggy go down. Renegade drives forward with the Rockets. He hasn't seen the player just on the ledge here. Has to waste one. Rocket doesn't find a home, but 4 kills without reply. Renegade's Rocket didn't even need to connect. He scoops up the thruster pack along the way. Now they can collapse in the base, and Envy already in massive trouble here. They're hitting the Mayday button, because here comes the boom. Double kill for Renegade. Player under him, where did he come from? Matter of fact, he's still not going to be able to get the kill. Hitchin's there to pick up the pieces. 8-1 now the score. Optic Gaming really starting to find their form here.
I'm not sure Precision even knew where he was. I'm going to be honest, not Renegade himself. He got lost. Tried to find Renegade, then Lqgend suddenly sniping him in the backside.
It was like Austin Powers caught in a nutshell. Oh no, I'm in a nutshell.
Oh no. Back and forth, just couldn't find his footing. It's an early lead here for Optic Gaming, and Lqgend has the sniper to try and control the map. Have to find the right angles though here on Origin. There is a lot of things that can get in the way. If you play it right, you can avoid that sniper with your pushes. And Envy do take it down, so they do close this gap to 4 once more, but good grenades from Renegade. Gets taken down by Descendant.
Nice bounce back from Envy then. Still playing a lot of Halo on the back foot though, it must be said.
There we go.
Beautiful shot from Descendant.
There we
and
go.
another one. More of that. Renegade top catwalk will back Descendant down. Formal's there to get the kill as well. Good work, though. Hitting shots like that's going to be massively important, Dan.
Have to hit shots like that if you are going to beat Optic in this map and mode. Because you know full well when the next sniper rifle comes up, if you give it to the wrong person, Optic, one of them is going to pop off eventually. It's inevitable whenever a sniper rifle is on the map. Remember, rockets have to be a consideration for the next spawn as well. I don't think Envy can just ignore them like they did in the opening, because otherwise they are just going to give so much freedom to Optic Gaming as Formal gets another double. Much to the delight of the crowd here at DreamHack Dallas.
3 dead for Envy. Green wall chance starting to ring out. Plasma grenade goes up, and perhaps Formal trying to nade this one down to himself. Has he timed the angles right?
No.
He has not. He
was doing it on the
He
fly.
was doing it on the move as well, so that would have been super impressive. Alas, no. Formal proves that he is actually human. At the very least, a demigod.
It's a 6-kill lead for Optic Gaming at the moment. Formal might not have got the sticky grenade right, but you know always the communication is on point for Optic Gaming. Let's check in and see if that's true with a listening with Optic.
One of guys.
Bubble. Red trench, blue bubble. Slow down, right now. Kill guy, shape the guy,
Nice, we got one. They have
Another
sniper.
guy trench.
Red mace, separate red mace.
Watch your right there. Yo, blue trench.
What's up, watch out, blue mace,
Heard you. Blue money. Yeah, lob blue, guys.
Bottom mid on side.
Where's he sniping?
One's on side. Blue mace.
I'm on blue trench, guys, I'm on blue trench.
We're spread out right now. We're spread out. Yeah, we need to get to snipe.
We need to get this. Watch out, Bruven. Watch out, Bruven. Look at blue gear.
Yeah, they saw snipe.
I'm watching.
He's sniping blue.
Where's this guy?
You're on side, John. Look at me, John. Turn around, John.
It's okay, I can't. He's sniping top rocks. Top rocks right now.
We're good. Just side. Just the target.
Absolute top rock.
Watch out,
Big kill on Matt. Nice, man. Sniper's dead.
It's too weak.
There's 20 blue behind you, Matt. Richard, watch out. Nice, two dead.
Watch out, S3.
We're watching grass right now.
We can street. Watch out, receiver, bro. Okay, we're in video.
Hey, I'm sniping.
Back up side.
Get to me. Yo, we're gonna sit snipe your mag. Just snipe, okay?
Yeah.
We're not moving.
Watch your
Okay?
sticky, John. Watch your sticky.
Yeah, the punch sniper thing.
Yeah, they're probably snipe, man.
Watch your sticky.
We're doing Senate. Elbow, one's elbow.
We have 4 bolts and snipe, guys. Yeah, red found.
We're gonna be missed.
Red,
Look at miss.
They might hit snipe here.
Two snipe, ground.
Ready? Yeah, two red snipe.
Watch right there.
Ready. Nice,
We're winning.
Two snipe, guys.
We double side.
Yeah, red out. Watch out, guys.
Nice. No one red snipe.
Yeah, sticky.
Yeah, under red sticky. Another one's holding it from here. Yeah, red sticky weak, and another one's holding it from flag, okay? Nice, two guys are cave.
Two guys came on me. I'm milking, guys. Watch me.
One of the biggest things from that listening was just slow it down right at the very start from Formal, because they just threw away a couple of easy kills, did Optic, and then just off the back of relaxing a little bit, they now take a 7-kill lead here. Rockets are about to spawn. Formal has a sniper rifle. The recipe for success is here for Optic Gaming.
You mentioned Formal making that play call, slow it down. Renegade follows it up by saying, we're going snipe, we're standing still, we're not moving. Listening to each other. And putting plans into practice. A couple of members do fall though. Piggy will get the melee kill. DSCENDANT was down to no shield, Renegade was there. 6 kills the difference now. Precision's gonna try and stay alive, gonna try and jiggle. Unfortunately, not enough jiggle in the hips. Get his hitbox out of the crosshairs.
The Rockets ended up somewhere, but
It's a great call out. Rockets are somewhere.
well, I haven't seen them yet, so I wonder whether they either ended up off the map or just got wasted by someone, but 4-kill lead now for Optic. Envy are doing well to keep this within touching distance, it has to be said, but each time they start to crawl back into this game, it seems like Optic just hammer them right back down. But this sniper rifle, potentially the last sniper that's going to spawn in this game, could be a huge one.
Team nearing victory.
Great pace from down there. Posturing for the fight, looking like he was going to jump and challenge. He stood still. Knew the fight was going to be coming to him. Knew he was going to reach out. Read him like a book. Renegade then. Game in your hands possibly here. There are a few players in the league you'd want the sniper rifles hands in more.
Notice the route he took as well when he grabbed that sniper rifle. Knew he had the ability to throw it off if he came under too much pressure. It does connect with the first one just to keep this 3-kill lead.
Red and fire and brimstone in the cave though. Just about evades the grenades and the splash damage. Shrapnel flying left, right, and center. Bound gets the trade with precision.
5 minutes remaining.
Kills just seem to be happening all around Renegade here. Hasn't really been able to put the sniper rifle to work. Is that about to change? The answer is yes. Body shot finds a home. Onto precision. As it did Descendant. And immediately Optic Gaming capitalize on that damage. They push forward. They drive forward.
And the kills aren't coming to him because Envy are avoiding him at the moment, but it is forcing them into the rest of Optic Gaming. But now Renegade gets the chance to hit a shot. 6-kill lead, 2 more required for Optic to take a 2-0 lead here in this series.
Look at the near the angles being picked up by Renegade. Putting a lot of reps on the map, trying to find those angles, trying to find those edges. Precision gets the kill. It's not enough though. Optic Gaming now. 1 away from another Championship Sunday.
And it wouldn't be a Championship Sunday without Optic Gaming, let's be completely honest. We feared we might not see them back in Arlington. And then they surprised us all by marching all the way to that grand final, resetting the bracket and taking down Shopify Rebellion. But this is going to be a different tournament regardless, because we've also seen Shopify Rebellion drop into the elimination bracket as well. In fact, it is FaZe and TSM in that winners final. I'd be willing to bet no one predicted that before this event. Absolutely no one.
It's been a bloodbath so far in this tournament. Any expectations you had going into this, any predictions you made, throw them out the window, because you did not have that as your winners finals. The difference between the two teams here in the Slayer, just the power weapon stand. Sniper rifle and rockets, they went the way of the green wall. They were really able to put them to work.
Now, I'd love to understand the kind of reasoning from the side of Envy of completely ignoring the rockets to begin with, maybe in hope that you can just really overwhelm the sniper side, grab the sniper, and then maybe catch a bullet onto the rocket player. Because typically when we watch Optic Gaming, Renegade is usually pretty passive on the elbow because he expects someone to be pushing it. But maybe he knew, and maybe he was told and informed by Lunchbox that actually Envy don't typically go for rockets. So he was able to get there so fast and walk away with them. You saw Lqgend there just let out a little roar as they are now 1 map away from finding themselves in Championship Sunday, a guaranteed top 4, and maybe, depending on what happens on the other side of the bracket, rematch with Shopify Rebellion.
It's always fascinating watching Lqgend. Makes his way over to North America, the first European player to win a World Championship, the first European player to win a major. What an incredible year he had, and you would think playing with some of these players he's sitting next to, he might be a little bit more reserved, a little bit more shy, but the absolute truth of it is, if you do something wrong on his team, he'll let you know. And if he does something well against you, he'll scream across the counter and let you know as well.
The counter?
The counter. Ring him up.
Bring him up. I'll also have a kebab as well, please.
Portion of chips.
Just looking at capture the flag for both of these squads, but it's been pretty good so far for Envy. They've yet to lose a capture the flag so far this event. And their flag success percentage is also very impressive. Can they put that into effort here on Fortress? This is going to be different though. I mean, yes, it's capture the flag, but it plays so differently to Origin or to Aquarius. Instead, it is going to be a lot more slow, a lot more methodical. Of course, you have the dual snipers to worry about as well. One good thing I will say is that Envy have shown throughout this tournament that they can put that sniper to work, but against Optic Gaming, man, it's always going to be a tough fight.
Okay then. Table is set. What's required is known for Envy. You do not win the next couple of games, make it 3. No matter what, you are out of the competition. It's been a pretty good run. You've beaten the teams put in front of you for the most part. But Optic Gaming just proven a cut above the rest. The cream always rises to the top. That's what we're starting to see. Brackets be damned. Optic Gaming are going to be making themselves a pretty tough test. They'll be trying to drive themselves into Championship Sunday now. Renegade's got the snipe, and he's already peeled Piggy.
So Bacon was very much scraped off of him there.
Pulled pork.
Yakzn did have overshield, so that's why he was able to just push in and get aggressive there, but unsure how much support he actually has as Renegade looks to try and do more work onto Piggy, but Piggy gets his revenge. Oh.
Enemy flag
Talk about putting the snipes to work. Senda's got one. Here's footsteps below him, perhaps. You can tell he's not comfortable now. Formal's got the repulse. He's got to be careful here, does Descendant. As a matter of fact, Formal didn't even need it in the end. 3 dead. Piggy last man standing for his squad. And he might actually have a sniper rifle on the other side of the map. Indeed he does, but not for long. Cut down. And all of a sudden, Optic Gaming might have a couple of sniper rifles to play with.
Formal got slightly too aggressive there, but he maybe will get away with it. He sensed there was going to be some spawns nearby and wanted to try and get some red skull placement, but he's still surviving. Great movement from Formal and good support from the rest of the team. How is this man still alive?
Can't go down, won't go down. Shields are coming back, finally put down, put away. He'll be a problem again in 5-6 seconds or so. Bound will fall, 3 dead for Optic Gaming. Now an opportunity for Envy to push forward. Renegade will answer back every single time there's one player left on the map for Optic Gaming. They will get that kill and make Envy's task a little bit more difficult.
Overshield number 2 is about to spawn in 10 seconds as well, so that's going to be the next real focus for both of these teams. But Envy have been able to collapse a little bit onto Optic. 2 are currently down, and the flag starts to move. You can move this flag and get the overshield. Could be a really good opportunity to get a cap here, but Formal's going to be the one to try and stop it.
Yakzn shadowing him. Overshield has been popped. Piggy's going around the corner. Wise he decides to get out of dodge. Get his hitbox out of the way at bottom middle. 1-0 the score. Envy take the lead. Envy draw first blood.
Just perfect timing, really. Sometimes it's just a coincidence, sometimes it can be planned, but when those kills started to fall and the overshield popped, it almost seemed inevitable they were going to get the capture. The crowd now starting to spur Optic on, try and get them back into this game. It's a double kill for Lqgend. And now the flag can start to be moved on the other side, but Precision spawned down below them.
Once upon a time, this series was known as El Clasico. Envy from the depths. Can they dig something out here? Lqgend's got the flag all the way home here. He will just get cut down with only a few steps before the flag podium. Precision slides out. Renegade puts him away. Flag's not punched in just yet. Bound has got to win this fight. He's pushing forward, taking space for his team. Has a little peek at the flag to see just how much time he has. 1v1. Bound wins, of course he does.
Anyone to touch it though? No one to touch it, and the decision from Bound was to leave it, but there is going to be 3 dead again on the side of Envy, so Optic can step up once more. Could Bound have maybe gone for the touch? I think it would have been damned if he did, damned if he didn't. Had you gone for the touch, maybe you were a little bit too vulnerable to Yakzn as well. But instead he was thinking about a bigger picture, about controlling the entire map rather than just trying to scrap a cap.
This would be a very clear strategy for Envy as well. Yakzn keeps finding himself behind enemy lines, keeps just sliding through the press. Optic Gaming haven't been able to keep tabs on him just yet, and that's why they were able to get some success with that flag capture, and another one perhaps being threatened here. And this is what Optic were talking about, those new map mode combinations they do struggle with.
They got 2 snipes. Renegade does take DSCENDANT down, but they did temporarily have 2 snipes and get an overshield as well. Optic looking a little bit more uncomfortable here on Fortress. Could this be the swing game for Envy to give them life back into this series? Flag is out, but might just get returned by default here unless Piggy can fly. And I don't know about you, but I've not seen pigs fly in quite some time.
Quite some time?
Yeah. There was this one time.
That one pig.
I was 7.
I've read of a spider pig, never a flying one. Either way. Here comes Renegade. Lost the flag out. Lost a couple of teammates along the way though. Opts to back down, play it patient, play it a little bit slower. Prioritize getting some damage in the map. 2 members of Envy converge on him though. It's good defense from Envy here. Forcing Optic all the way back. As a matter of fact, they've got ambitions and intentions to maybe get a flag capture of their own, but when Formal hitting shots like that, you can put those intentions in the bin.
Does get called out though and spotted.
Enemy flag returned.
That flag does get tossed out yet again. Envy are being pretty relentless with their pressure at flag pulls. Sometimes on Fortress it can be difficult to even get into the base. It's called Fortress for a reason, let alone get a flag pull, but Envy have been gaining the upper hand time and time again over Optic, which has allowed them to get into that base and pull the flag.
And it is an interesting strategy, because if you keep pulling their flag, you keep forcing Optic Gaming to turn around and look at you, rather than maybe proposing some sort of attack of their own. A successful strategy so far for Envy. Formal will push over towards the snipe tower now. Here's footsteps underneath them. Drops on them. Repulsor's there for Yakzn if he chooses to use it. He did. Didn't get much distance, didn't get much breathing space. Formal dug his heels in.
Big moment now. Both snipers and an overshield. 2 are dead on the side of Envy. Remember, a lot of these overshields have gone in favor of Envy, but Formal's starting to really heat up with some of these bandit shots. Gonna make it increasingly difficult for Envy to force their way out of the base, especially if he gets an overshield, but looks like maybe another one might go into Envy's hands here.
Down goes down, along with him the sniper rifle. Descendant could perhaps push forward and grab it. Yakz's got the overshield. As a matter of fact, he has no teammates to play with though. He's all alone. Forced to put it in reverse. Bound's gone back for a sniper rifle as well. That overshield's almost completely gone without having much of an influence at all. Maybe just staying alive was good enough. Optic are going to come again. They're going to push forward.
Enemy flag returned.
This has been good, but another 5 minutes is required from Envy. Is one cap going to be enough?
I was going to say that. For all the pressure, for all the hard work, for how well Envy have been playing, it's still only a 1-0 lead, and we know that Optic sometimes have that ability to dig deep, to go further into the playbook of saying, all right, nothing's really been working. Let's try and experiment a little bit and go for something different. And all it takes is one player to heat up as well.
Bounds, tricky customer. Taking different angles, bobbing and weaving. Relying on Renegade to get the kill. Isn't quite able to land the body or the face. Stays alive with the bonfire. Slows this one down for a second. Piggy down to no shields now, put in the respawn screen. Speak about heating up. We might be able to see this from Bound here. Yakzn will put him down.
And it has been a relatively quiet game for Bound thus far. Even though he's been the leading charge in assists, just not the typical game from Bound, but that can happen sometimes on Fortress. You get a little bit unfortunate with some of the spawns, some of the angles and routes you try and take. There's always seems to be someone on a different side of the elevation of Fortress, shooting down, raining hell from above, but now 3 dead for Envy. Optic starting to get aggressive, maybe looking for a flagpole and try and get this one a little bit further, but it looks like it's returning at the moment.
Seeing precision sliding out of the base 2-footed. Here comes the pain now. The flag hasn't been returned. Legend's been able to get a hand on it. Keep it alive. 2 go down. Make it 3 dead now for a moment. Legend's bringing this flag all the way home. We asked the question. We posed it. Was 1 flag capture going to be enough? The answer is no. Optic Gaming back into this game.
And just like that, every single pull, every single push that Envy have been working on, it all comes down to now even Stevens. Optic can do that. They can just rip a game away from you. Just when you think you've got the upper hand, maybe you've got a foot back in this series. Suddenly Optic just turn on yet again. They just go up 1 more gear.
They're like Matadors. They show you a little something, then they pull it away as you charge. Triple kill for Bound now. As he drives his team forward, Optic Gaming really starting to turn the screw.
Sniper rifles coming up as well, which is bad news maybe for Envy. If Optic, with the control they currently have, also get held of those power weapons, suddenly you might be looking at another flag getting run. Piggy, though, does take down Formal with a headshot. That could be massive. And he hits a body shot onto Bound. The Bound comes from the skies, and he will shut down Piggy.
Comes soaring down like a piece of snow. 3 dead once more for Envy. This is an issue. This is a problem. Renegade's in your base. He's got the sniper rifle. He puts Yakzn away. Almost was the same thing to Piggy. Surveys his options. Analyzes what he can do here. All of Envy's players have dropped down below the base, not looking to show here. It's going to be a bit of a stalemate for now.
Both flags that have been captured in this game have been because of the overshield, one way or another, whether it was Legend using the overshield just to eat up some damage and grab that flag. Oh! But Descendant is not able to get it, and 4 are dead, and an overshield goes to Optic Gaming.
And it's Legend again, off the good work of Renegade, killing the overshield player, punching the flag in. Optic Gaming up 2-1 now, with a minute and 40 on the clock.
A 3-0 is on the horizon. A championship Sunday once more for Optic Gaming seems to be inevitable at this point. Envy have put everything into this map. But sadly, it still was not enough, unless they have one last hurrah here. You can see Descendant tries to get the pull, but Renegade instantly denies it.
One last hurrah then. Formal in the basement. Piggy gets the kill. Bound is there though. The 3v2 on the map, but Bound gets another kill on the Precision. Envy laying siege to Optic Gaming's base, but Optic Gaming are standing strong.
Envy just needs to take a breather, just try and regroup here for one last attack. Optic are picking them off one by one at the moment. Piggy will be able to get the trade, but again, there's gonna be less members on the map now. Piggy trying to find his way into the base, maybe unseen, but Renegade will spot him out. And suddenly the clock is against Envy here. And Optic know they can go into defense yet again, just like they did once upon a time in Aquarius Bomb for map 1.
30 seconds remaining.
Optic Gaming continue to hold the line. It's a 2v2. DSCENDANT has got to get to the flag quickly here. Renegade's already there playing defense. He soars into the air, but again, Optic Gaming hold the line. Into the final stages then. Yakzn drives forward, Piggy too. They're being cut down, they're being cut apart. Optic Gaming on the cusp of a clean sweep here. Get your brooms out. Precision's in the basement. The flag's moments away from being sent home. Renegade falls down. Precision keeps it alive though. Continues to put down slaves. They've got the overshield. Envy are not out of it yet. DSCENDANT's got hands on. DSCENDANT's got all the way home. Can he punch it in? Yes, he can. No, he can't. And it goes in. We're going to overtime.
We are heading to overtime here in map 3. Optic were merely seconds away from closing out this series 3-0, but again, it's the overshield. It's Envy with that never say die attitude as Precision pulled off a double, kept things alive with a flag touch. And just when Optic thought that Championship Sunday was looming, it was very much right in their grasp. They have to go again.
Has this now just lit a fire under Envy? Do they start to believe? Is the wind in their sails? Formal's last man alive for his team for a moment. Waits patiently. Waiting for Optic Gaming to get back to full strength. They are now. But again, Envy laying siege. Piggy's taking a couple of ticks of damage. The grenade's not going to do anything to him. No damage will be taken from it. Lqgend and Renegade have fallen again. They know exactly where Formal is. Yakzn soars up to the sky. But Formal, just an absolute turret in this spiral staircase.
As a reminder, it's next flag wins here in map 3. Optic Gaming so close to winning this series and heading into Championship Sunday. Envy would be eliminated from the competition if they do not successfully find a flag here. It would be a great top 6 for them, but when they were so close to tasting top 3 in that winner's bracket, it would still feel disappointing. They've been able to get 3 dead, and they start to move a flag.
Flag's in the move, then Bound just cuts it off. All 4 dead for a moment, though. DSCENDANT's got hands on once again. Pushing the flag forward. Nobody there to get a stop to it. DSCENDANT will send us to a game 4. Envy back in the series.
There is still life in this one just yet. Clutch was saying on the desk that a lot of it may just come down to Precision and how he plays. Well, he had that moment where he pulls out something special. Keeps things alive for Envy, but it was a back and forth game. You thought Optic had done enough. They wrestled back into the lead, but then sadly, with just seconds left, it gets ripped away from them once more. How do you deal with that on a mental level? Because suddenly you start to think, oh, wait a second. When we were literally seconds away, is there any sort of reality where we throw this whole series away now?
How many times have we seen Optic Gaming do that to other teams? Just when they look down and out, they flip the script, they find an overshield, they hit a snipe. What a game that was. An all-out brawl on Fortress. And Envy just pulled through with his skin in their teeth, showing great heart, great resilience. They don't want to go home just yet, Dan.
And even though they do head into one of Optic's best mapping modes for Game 4, maybe momentum can be enough to just give them the belief here to keep them alive and get into a Game 5. But at least they've taken a map up off Optic Gaming and they've shown they have what it takes to take down the green wall in some of these games. For Optic, yes, they'll be disappointed, but if they take a breather, if they look at that series layout, I think they'll say, all right, well, we're not that good at Fortress CTF anyway. Let's just focus on one that we are good at. It could very much easily be a really one-sided game that we see next up for Game 4. That's the terrifying thing about Optic Gaming, is that if you do beat them, if you take them down, they come back bigger, better, and stronger.
Yeah, I think the issue is you deplete their health bar, but then an animation pops up and they rise from the death. And another even bigger health bar pops up, and now they've got even more ammunition, more animations. That's going to be the challenge now on Oddball Livefire. Envy still in this thing. Looking at the Oddball records then, both teams with a 3-0 unbeaten record, but the difference is Optic Gaming have not dropped a round, Dan.
And that's Oddball in general, but when you think about Oddball Livefire, they are 4-0 across this season. Like, we saw Recharge and how good they were at Recharge, but Livefire arguably even better for Optic Gaming. Oddball is they're just ridiculous at it. But, you know, the statistics were also kind of on Envy's side. It's not like they've been struggling with Oddball either. But again, it's about the opponents that you do go up against for those statistics. But the one thing that Envy have done is they have kept themselves in this series. They've kept their chances of a Championship Sunday run alive. It might seem a long way away still, having to try and get through yet another game here against Optic Gaming, but at least they've got one back.
And it was something Clutch spoke about, the build-up to this series. We were laying the expectations. He said Game 3 was going to be massive. One of the new map mode combinations, not one of Optic's strongest, something that they need to work on. Envy exploited it to its fullest.
I mean, all three of the first games were somewhat new. They're not the older ones, they're not the traditional ones like Livefire Oddball. But the important thing is, Optic have got through all of three of them with at least 2 victories here to now give them a chance to wrap this series up on Oddball Livefire. Just to give you an update of what's happening in the other elimination quarterfinal, Shopify Rebellion currently 2-0 up against Nemesis.
European team, the pride and joy of Europe on the ropes. A lot to do for them. Same can be said for Envy here, who still remain 1 map away. The task hasn't changed for Optic Gaming, it's just win 1 more map. The same jeopardy applies to Envy. If you lose, you're going home. Been a great run, but when you top your pool, you've hopes and aspirations of maybe pushing into that top 4. It would be such a shame for them to hit top 6 and perhaps not expecting to play Optic Gaming at this stage of the tournament. But they've given such a good account of themselves so far, as Piggy finds a face.
Tell you what, Piggy's been impressive this series. A couple of times when Optic start to really dominate, Piggy just shuts them down with a shot or 2. It really would be a statement of intent if Envy won this game, by the way, considering it is one of Optic's best. You have me questioning what might happen in that Game 5. And it has been a tournament full of Game 5, so hold on to your hats, everyone.
For a second, old Statman Dan, who's all beep bop, Optic are gonna win. All of a sudden, he's starting to believe Envy have a chance.
He's beginning to believe. Question is, who is the one on the side of Envy that can just elevate them to that next level? Precision at the moment has 4 kills on the board, but it is going to be a sniper rifle getting wasted by Renegade in the end as Envy begin to push towards this ball.
Play ball comes out. Heads up play from Formal. Recognizing he was down in numbers. And keeps control of the tower here, more importantly. What a job that is. Covering his angles, minding his P's and Q's. For good reason, he knew someone was here. His spidey senses were tingling. There's actually 2 members being sent to clear him out. He almost gets that kill on the Yakzn. But all that time they were trying to clear out Formal. Optic Gaming just been holding the ball.
Temporary lull. Sound across Livefire as Envy plan their attack, but maybe it's going to be the perfect plan. Precision gets 2, does get help as well. 3 are dead on the side of Optic Gaming. Formal's going to be the last. It is an excellent push from Envy. They assessed the situation perfectly and were able to quickly sweep them up, and now they get the chance to set up here.
Oh,
Bye.
See you later, friend. Sayonara, Renegade.
Enemy has the ball. Ball drop.
You can see Precision's intentions the minute they got the ball forward dead. Not happy to stand still. Pushes over towards Green, takes space for his team.
Ball dropped.
The play ball comes.
Enemy has
Perhaps no, Bound has just managed to keep it on the map. Perhaps a little blunder here. Descendant with the camouflage. And Lqgend, you know he's quite young, Dan, because those eyes work fine. He's always spotting out those camouflage players.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Precision didn't go for the play ball.
Ball dropped.
Maybe he feared if he had tried to toss it, he was just going to get shot anyway, or maybe he trusted in his team having the camouflage and being able to come over and shut things down. But it certainly was extra seconds for Optic Gaming. Still have a lead 53-19, but Envy have not allowed Optic to hold their setups for too long. That's what's important.
Renegade fires a couple of shots bottom middle. Didn't find a home with it though. Maybe perhaps hoping that the ricochet would connect with something.
Ball dropped.
A knee, a shin, an ankle, anything.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
He moves forward and rotates. Teammates are falling down around him.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
Renegade's just not hitting those shots, but as I say, that does land the body. Does land a second one onto Precision. Lines up Piggy. Backs away though. So interesting and fascinating watching Renegade sometimes. He's spinning around, turning. It's almost like he doesn't really know what he's going to do from any second to another. But it always seems to work out for him.
Dropped.
Sometimes you just have to sit back and appreciate what you're watching. Maybe we'll get more of the same from Formal here if he can hit some shots as well. He gets help from Renegade, but will eventually get shut down. Optic are being pushed to the limit by Envy, that's for sure. As Envy's starting to get a little bit louder, and maybe a good chance for us to jump into a listening with Envy as they hold this ball.
Top green, one shot, top green, one shot.
Go, bag's already bound. Chasing me. Melee, absolute.
Spawn there.
You have quantum, Jason.
He's red on, Big door. One shot big out. Nice, good trade.
You're dead.
Where? Oh, bigger.
That's one right.
Ammo 10.
Hold on, Ethan.
Ammo 10.
Nothing dummies.
Bags, but formal.
Alright,
Two bags.
Good kills.
Rub it in bags, both
on green.
on the box. Last scene on the box.
Go, backs. Cement.
We look at camo.
You can get came off for free. Free. All time, both
Time.
trying to get it.
Enemy has the ball.
He's on it.
Oh, ball weak.
It's spawn green too.
Concrete.
Back B formal. Back B formal.
Ball
Back B formal.
Inside?
Someone get in.
I got new.
This side, Jason. This side.
It could be pillars.
Johnny, right?
I'm taking a seat to Piggy.
I don't know where he is. I don't know where he is, bro.
Top green and pillars.
Could be tower.
Gonna be all over
Mud,
nest.
Lqgend.
Gonna be nest and mud. Gonna be nest and mud.
Yo, one's pillar door.
And dice. And elbow. Gotta play.
Shot tires.
Yeah, two dummy door.
2 seconds.
It's funny.
2 seconds.
One into either. Somebody, get a melee.
I got 2.
Just you.
Nice.
They've death cam on you.
Yep. Go, I spawned by 2.
On B.
There,
Spawn B.
Oh, damage.
Envy doing well to keep this close, but big call out. They have death cam on you. Sometimes that angle that you think you'd be able to just catch them off guard, they just have the body camera to make sure that it's not going to be a surprise, but it is still a 30-second lead here for Optic Gaming.
Enemy has the ball.
Maybe gets extended by Renegade, but he does well to play the ball. 1 minute left on the clock, may I add. Oh! Oh dear.
Almost playground, what's happening here? Precision spins in a dime and gets the kill. You can sense the little bit of frustration in the listening as well. Lqgend was the last man alive and he just managed to pick up the ball and throw it back towards green. You hear the almost collective sigh from the team. They had camouflage, they had the things they need to put significant scoring on the board. That pesky Frenchman does it again.
They're going to start to make some risky pushes now, RNV, to try and win this ball back in the final moments of the first round, but Lqgend is just holding on to it whilst everyone else is doing the damage around him.
Easy as you like. Lqgend will finally drop the ball, put some damage down.
Ball dropped.
3 go down, Descends the last man standing. Perhaps had intentions of trying to play the
Enemy
ball,
has the ball.
but round 1 will go in the books. The ink will dry on it. And Optic Gaming 1 round away then from a championship Sunday.
And even though Envy really tried as they might to get back into that game, it was just really the early pressure from Optic and the speed in which Optic break setups as well. Even though I will really credit how well Envy played to shut down that initial setup from Optic, it did take a good 30 seconds or so before they got that plan in action, whereas Optic just seemed to do it in their sleep sometimes.
Ball dropped.
It's just a second nature for them to know where they need to be pushing and which angles they need to be taking as Renegade gets another sniper rifle. And they've got the ball as well, Optic. Are they going to end up at the end of this series and this game at 5-0 on live fire oddball? Is this going to be one of those maps and modes that we're talking about all season for this team?
If you look at slays between both teams, there's not much to separate the two teams.
Ball drop.
The issue is pacing is so important at the highest level. Optic Gaming just play the game so much quicker. When you give them openings, when you give them opportunities, they really punish you. They put serious time on the board. They might be one of the best oddball live fire teams in the game right now. You can see why. Precision playing this one patiently with the camouflage. Waiting for his teammate to step forward. Bound will drop off the bridge though. Yakz's over towards pillars. And although the ball is down, and it's right at Precision's fingertips, the issue is Optic Gaming are just sitting green, baiting it, waiting patiently. All four go down for Envy. Perfectly played by the green wall.
And Envy have been able to get a couple of camouflages, but haven't necessarily capitalized on it. Because Optic have just been able to stick as a group and flank round to the other side of the map, and Envy are kind of left scratching their head a little bit, saying, well, how can I use camo to full effect if I'm just walking into a pack of wolves who are waiting to trade me out? It really is like a post-apocalyptic zombie situation where they're saying, right, we just need to make sure if one of us goes down, we can take down that player.
Ball drop. Enemy has
Optic
the ball.
find themselves 40 to the good in this second round, and
Incoming.
even though Lqgend falls into the drink, it's starting to look like the writing maybe on the walls for this one.
Like Lqgend took his knees and screamed cannonball. Not gonna hurt them
Enemy
too
has
much
the
though.
ball. Ball
A
drop.
significant lead here in round 2. Camouflage up in 15. Slays
Enemy
favoring
has the
Optic
ball.
Gaming once more. Spawns over towards green. Formal does maximum damage for what you can see. Renegade rotates back. Like you say, Envy have gotten these camouflages.
Enemy halfway to ball
Optic Gaming
drop.
being quite happy just to put their
Enemy
backs
has
to the
the
wall
ball.
and say, okay, you've got camouflage, but what are you going to do with it?
Ball dropped.
The Envy players can play patient, wait for his teammates.
Incoming.
They just haven't been able to create openings and opportunities. Bound back tower, DSCENDANT gets the kill. And here's Precision with
Enemy has
yet
the
another
ball.
camouflage. But they need value, and they need it now.
And the camouflage can be so good for breaking those setups, but at
Ball
times they're
drop.
getting the camouflage whilst they have the
Enemy
ball as
has
well,
the
so it's trying to work out how you can actually be of value with this camo when you've got a setup already. Maybe this is it, going for a little flankaroo down bottom middle, but I think Bound spotted him out quite comfortably there. Precision does the damage, but just has to back off again. At least they are scoring, Envy, so they're going to give this one last-ditch attempt maybe to get back into this game, but again, Bound just sniffs out Precision.
Yakzn sets up for the play ball. Initiates it, executes it. Snipe shot, and a melee good from Lqgend to get the kill. As he overlooks his teammates, plays some cover fire down. Gonna find the angle, Precision down to no shields, but hits some beautiful shots. Excuse me, it might be a Piggy to help him along the way as well. Lqgend did seem to die pretty quickly. But again, Envy trying to break setups, Envy trying to have an influence. But they're just heading straight into the Optic Gaming blender.
They did force a play ball at the very least at Envy. Sadly for them, it's just too many 3 downs, 4 downs that Optic are able to pick up too much time. The Optic setups have been far superior. 27 more seconds required for Optic to win this series 3-1, send themselves into top 4 at least.
Ball dropped.
And of course, into tomorrow's competition where the winner of this series will be facing Shopify Rebellion, as confirmation Rebellion have taken down Nemesis 3-0 in their matchup. The European team will finish at top 6.
Nemesis still chasing the accolades of yesteryear, trying to get top 4, top 3, but it continues to elude them. For Shopify Rebellion, they've steadied the ship. There was some choppy water, but they're back on track now. Sets up a pretty tasty elimination day tomorrow. Bound gets another kill.
Enemy has the ball.
Make it 22, 11, and 21.
Dropped. Enemy has the ball.
Another camo. And it is the ball for Envy, but 2 just went down. Precision's got a lot to do here. Does find Renegade. Sadly, he watches his teammate get deleted by a grenade, and again, he's left on his own here just to try and make a difference, try and keep this one alive. has done enough just to keep them at bay and away from this ball.
I'm going to really start to be a foe of Envy now. Minute 35.
Enemy has the ball.
Not applying a lot of pressure, but just enough that you need to get a move on. 3 go down. Precision last man standing on scoreboard. Renegade and Bound combined once again. Envy have to not only break a setup here, but they need an almost completely flawless hold.
Yeah, that final sweep might have just been enough for Optic Gaming. As they'll now close in on victory here at 90 points. It's going to be one last push from Envy, but do they even have time here?
Bound just looks like he was out for a stroll for a second, using the ball as a battering ram. Have they been able to play the ball out by Green? The answer's no, it's still alive. Almost got hands on, Piggy can't do much about it. Optic Gaming will head into the championship Sunday. 3-1 the score. And they keep on roaring. That Optic Gaming machine rolls on.
Death, taxes, and an Optic Gaming elimination run. It was almost inevitable that they would still find their way into Championship Sunday. And even though Envy gave it a bloody good effort, fantastic match 3 from them in Fortress ETF, the cream always rises to the top, and Optic Gaming now will find themselves in an elimination semi-final matchup with Shopify Rebellion. It's another rematch from Winners Bracket Round 1. It's another rematch from the Grand Finals of Arlington. But only one of those teams can get into the top 3. If I had told you right at the start of this tournament that either Optic or Shopify Rebellion would be finishing top 4, you'd probably laugh at me.
Absolutely incredible. The rematch will not be a best of 7, it's going to be another best of 5.
That's a
and
good
who
point.
does that favor? It has to be Rebellion, right?
Usually is Rebellion when it comes to those BO5s, but the series layout's going to be everything. I'm excited to see what it is tomorrow. Just another look at those stats. Renegade, the outstanding player in that one. 31 and 19. So we just get confirmation of the final series score. 2-0 on Oddball Live-Fire, and Optic continue this run this season on Oddball Live-Fire and Oddball in general, where they seem to be untouchable at times.
They continue to run in the elimination bracket. They continue the trend. The precedent they have set. Elimination bracket, no problem. They've been roaring on. Envy, try as they might, they huffed and puffed, but only good enough to win CTF Fortress. Optic Gaming looking pretty formidable.